there is a lot of misinformation about honey. My name is Magembe. Welcome to TWC. In today's episode, I want us to look at the facts and the myths about honey so that, as you guys engage in beekeeping, and at the end of the day, of course, you're going to be harvesting honey. You will be selling honey to your customers. And what you're going to realize is that as you deal with the customers, there is a lot of misconception, a lot of misinformation about honey. As what is true, we want to understand today. What are the facts? What is the truth about honey? How is honey supposed to be? How do you know whether this is genuine honey? The first misconception is that dark honey is actually adulterated honey. Means adulterated honey means that, honey somebody has already put some sugar, syrup, all kinds of stuff. They have added water to make sure that they are having more honey. So that the darker it looks like, if it looks more darker, it means that this honey has already been spoiled. But this is not, this is a myth. That is not true. Because what we realized when you engage in beekeeping is that honey comes in different colors. There is dark honey, there is pale, clear honey, and there is yellowish honey. Honey comes in different colors depending on the location and the season of the year. Like for example, myself, I have 3 apiaries. I have one in Kisii, another one in Nandi, another one in Machakos. So what happens when I'm harvesting, this honey don't look and taste the same way. Some is darker, some is yellowish, and some is pale. And even some have sweeter taste, some have a bit of bitterness. Sometimes when I'm giving this to my clients, they're like, no, this is not the honey you gave me last time. I don't like this honey. Maybe this honey is not okay. I'm having a few clients calling me back and saying, oh, maybe this honey is not okay. But I have to remind them that no, they're somewhere else, and this one I've got it from this other location, and that is where there is a difference. So just remember that honey comes in different colors. Another misconception that crystallized honey is spoiled honey. This is a myth because when honey crystallizes, it's actually its natural way of preserving itself. Because honey contains, raw honey that has not been processed, just filtered, contains particles, pollen, contains propolis and wax. So with the time and when the temperatures go low, this honey will crystallize with time. But when it crystallizes and solidifies, it does not mean that this is bad honey. Because I've gotten a lot of people telling me, oh, you gave me honey and I'd put it somewhere else. Like right now, here in Kenya, we have low temperatures usually from June to August. And like this honey harvested about 2 months ago, and I gave my clients, and after some time, the honey has crystallized, and they think it's bad honey, but it's not bad honey. And actually, even I put on a label that when honey crystallizes, all you do is just put the bottle in warm water, and the honey becomes liquid again, and you can just enjoy your honey. So crystallized honey is not bad honey. Another thing we're going to look at, number 3, is that honey can be used for skincare. This is a fact, because one thing we need to understand is that because the honey has low content, water low content, about 17%. That is, good honey. 17, it should not go beyond 20%. So because of this, means when you apply it to your skin, it actually absorbs moisture from the air, and this will make your skin glow. So, and it's good for your skin. Another factor that you look at is that honey can be used to be applied on wounds. This is a fact. Actually, our ancestors have been using this for a very long time. They understood this, and this is because honey has antibacterial properties and pH balance that actually promotes the healing of a wound. Because, and has a pH of about 3 to 4, and it's a bit acidic, and because of the antibacterial properties, it's very good for wounds. So long as it's completely low honey, it's good. Apply on your wound. But of course, if you are having adulterated honey, then you apply, and uh, maybe it has some other issues, bacteria, then that can be, of course, bad for your wound. But if so long as it's natural, pure honey, that is good for your wound. Another item we look at is that honey is a great source of energy. This is a fact because we know that honey contains carbohydrates and glucose. And, so having a spoon, 1 or 2 spoons of honey, this can give you, a lot of long lasting actually energy. So it's good. So, and it's food. If that day you don't have food, you can actually lick honey, and you can have energy for some time. Another factor is that, for example, there's a time I was selling honey, and I was giving people to test. You want to people test so that they can really determine whether this is good honey or not. And then one of the ladies told me there that, look, please don't be using a metal spoon, because the moment you use a metal spoon, it kills the living enzymes of honey. It's partly true, so it's a myth and it's a fact, because if the spoon is made of copper and iron, yes, it will kill the living enzymes in honey, because copper and iron, they react with honey. But if the spoon is made of stainless steel or silver, then it doesn't react with these two metals, and then it's okay to use. But usually we recommend for you to scoop your honey. You can use wooden or plastic spoons. So next time when somebody tells you that, if you're using stainless steel and or silver, know that you're okay. But if the spoon is made of copper and iron, then it's bad. It will react and it will kill the living enzymes in honey, because that's what we want. So that is why usually processed honey or exposed to it is not good, because it kills the living enzymes. So next time when somebody tells you metal spoons are not good, you can now ask them what kind of metal spoon that is not good for scooping out honey. Another fact that we need to look at is that honey never goes bad. This is a fact. Honey never goes bad. Actually, scientists, archaeologists, a few years ago, they found some preserved honey in the tombs of Egypt, and they found that the honey that was actually stored there, preserved nicely, 3,000 years ago, is still good, it's still edible. So that tells you that if honey has already stayed 3,000 years and is still good and you can eat and no problem, means that honey never goes bad. And this is because of two things. One is because of its the pH. The way I told you that it's around 3 to 4%, 3 to 4. So what that means is that anise has a gluconic acid. So because of this gluconic acid, means that the bacteria cannot survive in this kind of environment. And another factor that makes honey not to go bad is because of its low water content, which is 17%. So this means that the bacteria cannot survive in this kind of environment because it dehydrates the bacteria when they are exposed to uh, honey. This 17% is very low. The bacteria needs higher water content for them to be able to survive. So honey never goes bad. So you can ask me, then what happens when you go to a supermarket and there is expired date? It's because most of this honey has been processed, so it will go bad because of that. But if it's natural, pure honey, and it's stored properly, it never goes bad. So you have seen in today's episode, we have looked at these facts or truths about honey and the myths. So you need to educate yourself more on honey as you are getting involved in this sector of beekeeping. You need to understand the bee products well. You understand what is a fact and what is a myth, so that you can be able to explain well to your clients, and you can be able to know exactly what you're selling to your clients. So thank you again for taking time to watch this video, and I'm hoping that this is helpful to you. And in case you're not subscribed, kindly go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We are always sharing information on beekeeping, agroforestry, and some other investment ventures. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.